r/AskWomen. What is most awkward, embarrassing, question men asked you? So does this mean I can't see your boobs? After a downright disastrous and embarrassing double date. And to those wondering, yes, he was serious, and no, he didn't see my boobs. I have to ask, what was the hint that made him ask that? We went to Denny's and he ordered a buttload of food, ate 90% of it and then decided it was nasty and didn't want to pay for it. He then plucked some hairs off my head, follicles and all, and put them on his plate. When he tells the waitress hair was in his food, she politely told him no one in the kitchen had long hair so she wouldn't refund his meals. This upset him and he made a big ruckus and stormed out. I ended up paying for his meal along with mine out. I was pissed the whole ride home because I didn't even wanna go on the stupid date. When we got back to my friend's place, he walked me to the door, expecting a kiss, and then asked that fateful question. He was such a great guy/s. When I taught in Korea, I got mistaken for a sex worker a lot because of the blonde hair and asked how much I charge. One of the first phrases I learned in Korean was "No, asshole, I teach your children." Does blonde hair equals sex worker in Korea? Not Hop, and not Korea, but in Japan sometimes Eastern European women come over to work in the sex industry. Not sure why, but for some reason a lot of them have blonde, bleached hair. I guess because it makes them look more exotic. TBH, I have not seen that many actual Western hookers here, but I've seen several soaplans, brothels advertising Caucasian women, and they're always blonde. I can only imagine it's similar in Korea. When I studied abroad in Osaka, I had my natural blonde hair and was harassed and followed a lot. Men would always ask if I was Russian. I'm still in Japan, but now I dye my hair dark and don't receive a tenth of the attention. Have I ever tasted my own juices? Yes, that's the word he used. It was a first name basis, see you in the hall and say hi in passing, distant acquaintance type of relationship, and we just happened to be outside smoking at the same time one day. I still feel gross when I think about it. I got asked this exact thing by an ex. And when I said no, definitely not, he got really pushy about it and kept insisting that loads of girls did it. And that lesbians, by girls I know, do it all the time, and most of my ex-girlfriends have done it. Every time I'd respond with "that's cool, but I wouldn't do that," it was "why not?" I can't believe someone you barely know asked you that. Honestly, even if I was dating someone, I can't see myself just casually going, "Oh hey, by the way, once you've finished draining the snake, have you ever, just reached down there, like you're sticking your finger in the frosting bowl and taken a big old lick? Let alone a stranger. Like, I don't think I want to know if the answer to that is yes. I was on a date with a dude who informed me that he has lost about 100 pounds and had some loose skin as a result. I was like, oh, okay. Not a big deal and kind of weird to mention since we just met like 15 minutes ago, but whatever. Then he looked at me and informed me that one of my eyes is smaller than the other, which I'm well aware of, very self-conscious about, and nobody has ever brought up to me before, and asked if there was anything else I was self-conscious about. Talking about his loose skin made an already insecure man that much more insecure. People who lack confidence and feel ugly inside are the first to try and make others feel the same. Looks like he was really grasping to try and find your fault with the eyes thing. I was a freshman in college and a guy asked me out on a date. He seemed harmless, so I agreed, with my friends following us. Turns out he lied about his age. He was 28, not 20, didn't actually go to our university, and asked me if I was prepared for the responsibilities of being his wife. Obviously, I booked it TF out of there after that. I had just started dating this guy, and we had only slept together a couple times. We were waking up one morning after I spent the night at his house. I'd had a terrible sleep, so I was exhausted and needed to get home because I had an appointment later. He started trying to make moves and things, and I was just kind of like, haha, sorry, I'm super tired and I need to get home. He immediately got sulky and asked, well, can you have sex with me before you leave? I was just so unbelievably put off by this that I ended the relationship pretty much the next day. When I was in high school, about 16 at the time, and starting my first job, I had a guy coworker ask me if he could finger me. I had just met him. I think we went to the same school, a big school, but I had never talked to him before. Anyways, it made me so uncomfortable because I didn't know him very well. He was training me if I remember correctly, and we were just making small talk to pass the time. Then he just comes out asking if he could finger me. I told him no, but he was persistent and kept asking and begging, repeatedly. He even told me he would pay me $5 just to let me stick his hands in my pants. I was so horrified and a little scared. Needless to say, I avoided him after that. Thankfully he quit shortly after. I never knew if he was joking or being serious or what. What are you and what's your Indian name? To explain, I'm half Native American but very pale. This is a young male co-worker that also grew up in Canada, so he was taught basics about Native American culture in school. This was after the great opener of You Look Different and What Are You? I explained I'm part Native American, pale etc. etc. I grew up here, not a reservation. Then it's the what's your Indian name? I explain again, I don't have a different native name, this is my name and I grew up with as a white person with no Aboriginal culture. He then asks, so what's your real name? There, what are you really got to me? He wouldn't let it go. I just walked away. A guy once asked if he could pay me to hang out with him. I didn't want to go out with him, so he thought that would work. Like he thought it would be like a romantic comedy where the couple has to spend time together and end up falling for each other. Asked me if I've ever seen Love Don't Cost a Thing. Also, we worked the same low-paying job, so obviously that wouldn't have worked. Asked if he could pay me to hang out with him. Asked me if I've ever seen Love Don't Cost a Thing. The real cream of the crop, that one, so self-aware. You for real, dude? You're trying to bust my balls, aren't you? I'm thinking, honestly, there can't be other people in the world that could be that flagrantly stupid. Just admit it. You're busting my balls. What's your next question? Dunno. Does the size of your seats match the size of your gear shift? You kiss your mother with that mouth? I was sitting around a campfire with some friends. One guy that was dating my friend's sister, makes a comment to another girl that was there hardwood or carpet. Funny in the context because it was just out of the blue and nobody was expecting it. Turns out, his girlfriend wasn't very appreciative of that comment to another woman, so his night didn't go as well. I would like to think I would try playing some kind of prank on them about it. Like, I'd be wearing a bald cap and a realist-looking red wig on top, and when someone asked that question, I could rip the wig off and say, I'm bald, you insensitive jerk, and storm off. I might just have too much time on my hands though. My ex was Japanese and would always get asked if her vagina went sideways. I'll never understand why people just ask about other people's junk. In her case, she just started telling them it did after I explained it was just a stupid old racist joke and they thought they were being clever and witty. I've got 3 good ones from my time on POF. What deodorant do you wear? Apparently, it was a joke and I was supposed to answer, it's a secret. Needless to say, we didn't really talk after that. I opened a message from a man I had never spoken to that said, yes, I will marry you. A creep messaged saying I only date white girls 'cause you swallow. I have large breasts that developed extremely early. Basically, since I was 10 years old I've had creepy men ask, wow, are those real? Uck, and the lip licking. I had D's in middle school. The creepiness was unreal. Do have actually seen men lip licking their lips after seeing some breasts. OMG, that's crazy. Not just seeing, staring at my 13-year-old boobs. After breathily telling me I look like Britney Spears, this was the year 1999 for the record. Britney was only 16 at the time and really putting the Catholic schoolgirl vibes out there. I can guarantee you any busty teenager has this story.